What is going on, people? Tony here with Mr. Emilio.
What's up, people? How's it going?
All right, so today we're going to do a very special unboxing for you. We're going to be unboxing the Astro C40 TR controller, right, for the PlayStation and PC. And
Ooh,
yeah, Manny, I don't know if you remember, but they actually showed this or premiered this at PAX over the weekend. And somebody asked us a question about it. I think it was Mr. Himdeal that asked us, like, hey, what do you guys think
yeah,
about the controller? And at the time, I told him, hold off. I'm going to play it with, I'm going to play the controller because he asked us on Sunday night and I got in, my appointment was on Monday, right? Shout out to Astro for inviting me to the thing. So we're going to do a little bit of
nice.
unboxing for you guys. Full disclosure, this is not like oh my God, first time unboxing. I've already played with this controller. I've opened it up and everything, but I want to show you all this stuff.
All right,
Before
cool.
before that, Manny, do you get to see this controller at the presentation or anything? Do you have any thoughts before we open this thing
No,
up?
I haven't. This is actually the first time I've only seen like that shot that you're showing there
Yeah,
on
right
there right
here.
there.
Yeah, right
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
I've only seen that, and I've just like, all right, sure, looks like a controller, you know.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Also, my review, by the time this video goes up, it'll be up on geek.com, so check it out. So before we even open this thing, we gotta look at the box itself, right? So right
All right,
here, you get to see the thing. By the way, quick little side note, and I'm gonna keep all this stuff in there. Since Throwdown is both a like visual and audio thing, I was about to explain what you guys are seeing. This is just video. I don't have to explain nothing. So yeah, there's the box, right? That's the front of it.
yeah,
And on the side it shows you the control a little bit.
mm-hmm.
Watch my lighting there. The back shows you a lot of features. Let me see.
Nice.
Yeah, let me see if I could get in there and show you some of that stuff. But we're gonna get into it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
CR, and even the bottom has some stuff, which is kind of
Yeah,
cool. You know?
unreadables, little barcodes,
Yeah,
little
exactly.
licensing junk.
Yeah. All right. So the first thing is you got to take this little like slipcase off, right? So you
All
get
right,
this,
nice.
kind of cool. Very hard hardboard.
This is
Astro. What's up?
obviously had some sort of plastic on top of it before originally, right? Yeah, no.
No, it came just like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it came
Interesting.
exactly like that. All right, this is the bottom. I already show you that. So and
Cool.
yeah, so you see that the back is like little PlayStation-y stuff. Kind of
Nice.
cool. What does it say back here? Pro gaming equipment. Yeah, because this controller, and I'll get more into it later, was like they was specifically made for pro players, like the hardcore guys.
Hmm.
And at the presentation, I learned a lot of interesting things. Like, man, you thought I beat up controllers? I'm nothing compared to these guys. All right, so check it out. So you take this part out. You know.
Hmm.
Hold on. I got ahead of myself. People. There's even stuff on the inside, man. I don't know if you can look at it. I don't know if how well you can see that because of the lighting here.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah, like
Hold on,
there's like some sort of blue stuff in there. Like some blue like circuitry looking stuff in there.
yeah, I don't know if how well you guys can see that over there, but yeah, some like circuitry, Astro stuff going on. Kind of cool. Oh,
That's
there it is.
interesting.
There we go. Yeah, you can see that
There
a
you
little
go.
better.
That's PlayStation Blue on the inside.
Yeah,
That's
PlayStation Blue. Yeah, you know, yeah, C40, the name of the controller. Pretty slick. Like even this is awesome. You know.
so.
Yeah.
So this their first controller for anything?
Yes, for Astro, as far as I know, at least what the guy told me, they've been working on this controller for 4 years because Astro, they're known for, gaming headsets. Even though
Yeah.
this is not a gaming headset, this is from HyperX. Shout out to HyperX, but yeah, for the first gaming controller, and they really they studied all the other like elite controllers, for the lack of a better term, and kind of
Hmm.
come up with this. And we'll get into it. We'll show you why this is really cool. So yeah, there's packaging, right?
Hmm.
And then it
Oh
comes with
man,
this. It's
they,
like
they want to make sure you take that thing good with you.
yeah, it's like a Russian like doll, It's like layers within layers, man. So this thing right here, scratch resistant. It's pretty tough, so if you drop it, you'll be okay.
Hmm.
So you open it up, obviously, zipper. Very
Hmm.
satisfying sound. And then on the inside,
Oh, look
the
at that.
controller itself. I know some people are gonna ask me about the offset. It doesn't come like that. I made it that way on purpose.
Oh, really? So you can move the thing, the things around on it?
Yes, and I'm going to demonstrate that right here on the video, man. So there's the
Oh, okay.
controller, before we get into there's more stuff inside, but here's the basic shape of it, right?
Hmm.
You got the face buttons or whatever, D-pad over here. Now here's where it gets interesting. Up here, think you can see that a little good.
Yeah, the usual
Okay,
triggers on the
yeah.
sides.
Okay. Now this right here, this is the profile. We're gonna get into that a little bit later. And this right here is for wired and wireless. We're gonna get into that too. And then on the back, I'll set it up. You see those red things here. You could drop them up
Mhm.
and down. Those basically tell you where there's triggers to stop. Right here, I put them all the way down, so the triggers go down all the way. But if you want, especially for shooting games, you pull them up, they stop. You know,
Hmm.
kind of interesting. And then back here, extra buttons that you could program. You know,
Okay.
so that's the controller. Go ahead,
Oh
Manny.
no, I mean,
Yep.
so you can just put any sort of button on that thing there, on
Um,
those back there, on those buttons on the back.
yeah, you could program any of these buttons. Any of these buttons, you could program them to the back.
Oh,
Right.
okay,
All right.
cool.
Okay, so that's the controller, and then on the inside, I don't think this is gonna fall out, so I can show you this. Okay, extra analog sticks. So if you want like
Hmm.
a concave, you got that. You want a more sticking out, you got that. You have right here. This is the receiver. This controller is not Bluetooth and it's not Wi-Fi. It's you have to have this specific receiver in order to
Oh,
use it. I'm forgetting the reason, but the guy explained to me that basically because of the way the Bluetooth works with the PlayStation, it kind of messed up some of the features they wanted to implement. So like, you know what? Let's just have a receiver and be done with that. You know?
huh. Interesting. So, so do you have to install some sort of application on your PlayStation for it to work, or is it
Nope,
just
nope.
okay?
Works right at the box. And right here, this is the I think they call this an L key or whatever.
Yeah, it's an Allen key or an L
Allen key,
wrench.
Allen, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, right. And then here at the top, let me see, hidden
there you
away
go.
the cable,
Oh, nice.
and we're
And
gonna get it.
I'm
Yeah,
sure it's like a 7 foot cable or something like that, right?
it's not too long. It's like 6 feet, maybe.
6 feet. All right.
Yeah. Let's get actually since we're on the subject. Actually, let me move this here. All right, on the subject of the cable, I want to show you something really cool. Let's see if you guys can see this. You see how there's that separation, like this part's darker than this?
Mm-hmm.
That is because the cable actually goes inside of the controller.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't
Yeah.
just stick in the front part of it. It's not like the PlayStation 4 controller where
Yeah.
it has that little thing sticking out a little bit.
Yeah, let me see if I can move it. Okay, so the reason for that is because this way with the controller, part inside, it's not gonna break easily, like
Hmm.
that. So that it's so secure in there. So that was really smart. Like again, I've never seen a controller that actually thought about that, because like let's say you're playing and then you slip or whatever, that'll keep it nice and tight in there.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that is really smart thinking.
Yeah. Lord knows how many times especially if you're playing with a controller, some dope decides to walk in front of your screen and and then pulls your controller either out of the console or out of your little controller.
Hey, that's how I
There.
lost the use of my original PlayStation 4. Somebody
Mm.
walked in front of the screen and we were playing wired. All right, so check this out. Now we're going to do the fun part. We're going to actually take this apart. So the instructions that come with it. Oh, where are the instructions? Oh, I think they're still in there. Let me do that because this is an unboxing after all.
Hmm.
Hold on. Yeah, we're going to get thorough, people. So right here, it comes with a little book. Actually, it just tells you it's some warning stuff, whatever.
Hmm.
Safety regulations. Now here are the instructions, but it's one of these like I call these map instructions.
Oh
Like
yeah, because it like folds out like all over the place.
yeah, it's like you know what I'm saying? Look at this. It's crazy. You
Yeah, they
know?
didn't give you a book. They just printed you a long piece of stuff all over the place.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
So there you go. Okay, so now we're gonna get to the fun part. We're gonna actually open this controller up right now. It's pretty easy. You stick the Allen key in there. They said in the instructions that I just showed you that you need to do it in a star shape. So basically, you open up this one, go to the next one.
Yeah, that's usually how you do whenever you open up any sort of electronic device. You don't just do left and left. You got to go around the whole thing like clockwise or counterclockwise.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so you're gonna like this part. So anyway, so what I usually do is I just kind of pull on the analog to get the whole thing
Hmm.
loose. I don't think I loosened it enough. Hold on, people. You know. But again, you're gonna see a little bit of another forward-thinking thing here. So let me get these out. Hey, you may ask, hey Tony, where are the screws? They're right here, baby. Look at
Oh yeah,
this.
they stay in the shell.
They
Nice.
stay right there, because they, I was told when they were testing this in the lab, they were, the screws kept flying everywhere. So like,
Hmm.
let's just not have that, you know.
Yeah.
So here's the controller without the face,
Okay.
and you could, switch them out. Here's the module they call them, you know.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna make it like a PlayStation controller, that you guys are used to. Now what's cool? Let me see if I could show you guys this. So on the bottom, it is a little bit tricky here. On the bottom here, actually I can just show you this. There's like a red marking,
Hmm.
and it says Astro. That's how place it there, so you don't get lost. Even the D-pad has a little bit of a red thing on it.
Hmm.
So let's do this now. So I'm gonna make this more of a place. Oh, look how close I am! Damn.
Yeah, man, you're getting all up in the
In
screen.
your grill. So basically, when you put them in there, like you could feel it, like when it's tight,
Hmm.
which is really cool. You know,
And so it automatically knows where you put those things.
that's the crazy part. I asked him like, how does it do that? And he's like, yeah, they program that way. And I think that's also part of the reason why they couldn't do like Bluetooth.
Oh, okay.
Like it was some stuff, but yeah, it automatically senses, whether when it's in the right position. I was wondering, like, wait, how does that work? Because remember, some games the D-pad doesn't work for some games. Like the D-pad
Hmm.
is not for movement; it's for other options. But this automatically detects it. And I've been playing this game with the Division 2 with both configurations, and
Hmm.
it's fine. Also, one quick thing you need to, and we're gonna get into a little bit later. You need to download the software that comes with this and update the firmware. So there it is, like a regular PlayStation controller. So you can play how you want, which is
Hmm.
really really neat.
Are the along with the left analog stick and the right D-pad, are the other side also, can you also change those things around too if you like?
Which oh, you mean the
Oh,
face?
the face buttons, yeah.
No, you can't change those.
So
Um,
you can only change the left side. Okay.
yeah. Shout out to Manny's girlfriend right there in the background with the cat.
Yep.
You know,
You can kind of see him a little in the bottom corner there.
yeah. You could also change these out if you want, but I've never tested that. I'm a little scared to try that, to be honest. But I'm not gonna do that. So anyway, we got to talk about the firmware update, and I don't know if I'll edit it in or whatever. But basically, it's its own program, and in there you could switch around all the buttons. Like you could completely remap this thing how you want.
So this is a thing within your computer that you need to download, right?
Yes, yes, yeah. You
Okay.
download it to your computer, Windows or Mac, and you open up the program, and in there you could switch around everything. You could switch around where the buttons are placed, how sensitive the analogs are, the
Hmm.
where the dead zone is. You could eliminate completely. You could even add dead zone. Some people may find out weird, but the guy who showed me the controller, Thaddeus, I believe his name is, he said that on his right arm he has he has a disease with it or something. So
Hmm.
for him, he kind of needs a dead zone. So there's it's accessibility going on here, and you could also change the sensitivity of the triggers because, as it was explained to me, basically, think of it as a range, right? Like the range is between 50 and 250. Between that range, that's when the game will register that you press the triggers, right? But every
Hmm.
game is different. Now, for the Division, I noticed that when I flip this up, the right trigger, the hair trigger as they call it, registers it. But if I flip it up on the left analog stick, it doesn't register it at all.
Hmm.
So you need to go in there and you make little adjustments or whatever to
Hmm.
fine tune it, which is pretty interesting.
So okay, so yeah, so when you have you plug your controller into your computer, and then what you do is you run that app that's on the for the controller to kind of adjust the sensitivity of all the different controls on there.
Yeah, exactly,
Okay,
exactly. And you
and
could,
then that carries over to when you bring it over to like a PlayStation or
oh, that's a good question. I actually don't know that.
Hmm,
I'm gonna assume it does because you could have different profiles. Because
yeah.
remember, this thing stores memory, obviously. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume that's the case because you can't adjust it in the actual PlayStation. You would need to do it on your computer. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna just assume that
It's
it does
it's
that.
it's not like because you said there's no additional thing that you need to download for the actual PlayStation.
No.
Kind of like the way the Sony headphones are, where you have to download that specific app to adjust the different surround sound and all that stuff.
Yeah. So I'm guessing, if transfer over, and the cool thing is you could set up two different profiles, like I said up top here,
Hmm.
between different play styles, which is really cool. I really like that. Also, I want to talk about the back buttons because, and I should have had it here. For example, the Xbox Elite controller, I don't have that, but I do have the Scuff Vantage, which has the same kind of
Hmm.
thing, has paddles in the background. I feel this is better because this is how my hand normally is. Look where my middle finger is, right
Hmm.
over that button. So I don't have to like do anything weird. You know what I'm saying, to press it. So that's a really well thought out
Hmm.
thing. Also with the program, you could adjust the level of rumble in there. You could and this thing is the rumble in this is automatically not that high on purpose.
Hmm.
A lot of
Yeah.
a lot of pro players don't like rumble,
Yeah,
so
they
you could
don't care
eliminate
for
it.
it.
Yeah, or you can set it to. I think this is 10% of what normal rumble is. It didn't bother
Hmm.
me. I like rumble, but it didn't really bother me. And
It's
yeah,
funny when they first started doing that thing. I'm like, rumble? Why are rumbling? Why does your controller need to rumble?
yeah, and also you could adjust the volume of the speaker here right through the
Hmm.
program. And remember, this is Astro we're talking about. You could even adjust how your headset sound that you plug into this thing.
Mm.
It's Astro. You know how it is, man. That's their forte right there. So
Hmm.
interesting little things about the controller. So it was made in conjunction with a lot of pro players. I got a lot of input from them. What I
Yeah.
didn't know is that these guys, like, they beat the hell out of their controls. Apparently, they go through controllers every 3 months. Like,
Interesting.
and it's crazy, a little fun thing, Manny's always talking about how I beat up controllers, right? Like every time he
Oh
gets a new
yeah.
controller, he would have me come over and like, play with them for like an hour.
Back in the old days, like especially like on the 3DO, where the real 3DO used to have a really heavy duty like D-pad. One, I would say one normal playthrough with Tony or two normal playthroughs with Tony, he'll instantly loosen up the controller. It's worn. It's worn
Yeah.
in.
But yeah, so I thought I was hardcore. Nope. These guys are. Dude, I still have PlayStation controllers from like, when the PlayStation first came out 4 years ago. Now, granted,
Mhm.
the analogs are all messed up, but I'm like, those guys are serious. So they made sure that this thing was durable, and of course, even though this controller is like harder to, it's more resistant, it's still going to give out eventually, right?
Yeah.
Hence why you get extra one of these, the analogs,
Hmm.
switch them out
Okay.
because they know that the pro guys are going to just really beat the hell out of these things. So you can switch out
Hmm.
the modules, so you don't have to buy a whole new controller, you just buy a new module.
Hmm. Nice.
Which is pretty cool. And of course, even though the game, the control was made for pro players, that stuff trickles down to regular guys like me and Manny. We
Hmm.
we benefit from all that stuff too. You know,
Yeah.
so it's really cool. Also, I want to show you this. This is kind of fun. I don't know if you could catch it on the. Okay, you see those empty slots right there?
Hmm.
That's on purpose. In case you buy an extra module or you buy an extra D-pad, you throw that thing in there and you're good to go.
Nice.
You know. So
Cool.
that's really neat. For the D-pad itself, I tested out with Street Fighter. You already know, man.
Hmm.
Tried out Hadoukens, Sonic Booms, all that stuff. Came out really good. It took me a little bit only because you have to be very precise in the old Street Fighter games to pull those
Hmm.
moves off.
Oh
But I
yeah.
was doing that. Listen, I did what I consider the hardest super move, Guile super move on this thing. So I'm like, if I could do that, I could do anything.
Hmm.
Ironically enough, and I guess it makes sense. Zangief super move where you have to like spin it around 2 times and then do it.
Yeah.
Hard on the D-pad, easy with the analog stick.
Oh yeah. Oh, obviously. Yeah.
Pretty fun stuff. As far as okay, so yeah, the games I tested out Far Cry New Dawn for the first person shooting,
Hmm.
Division 2, played that a lot. I felt that I'm spinning on the controller. I felt the triggers were really good. I felt really nice. I played
Yeah.
Monster Hunter World on PC. That was really good because that's more of an action adventure game. That felt
Hmm.
really good. Sonic CD, that felt really good. It was this controller is really good for pretty much like every type of game. I I'm a little bit negligent. I probably should have tested out a racing game like Burnout, but I'm gonna assume it's gonna be good too. You know,
Yeah.
like if it worked well for 5 games, I'm gonna assume it's gonna work well for the sixth one. You know,
Hmm.
so pretty good stuff. Complaints. I don't really have any complaints except for the program itself. And again, I may throw some stuff in there to edit in there. For some reason, the interface is translucent. So you see your computer background on it, you know. And I checked some videos,
Hmm.
and it's apparently a thing. So I have to like put my background on black so I could see everything as it's supposed to be. I don't know why they went with that choice, but you know, other than
Yeah.
that, yeah, other than that, the controller's dope. I believe this is how prepared I am. I believe it's $200. You know, pricey, admittedly, but with a controller of this level, you know, you needed to you needed to be on that. You know, the price is justified, basically. You
Hmm.
know, yeah.
Did they say that they were going to make any sort of, because you know how Brett is all into customization and stuff like that. If they give like alternate shell colors and stuff that you can all buy from them and stuff like that. Like
Shout
if
out,
you.
yeah. I want to give a shout out to Andrew Alliance, who was there with me at the day of my appointment, and he asked about that, and they said at the
Mhm.
moment, no, not right now, not
Okay.
right now, you know. But you know, they're also not putting it off the table either. By the way, Manny, ask me anything about Troll because right now I'm trying to find the exact price. I don't want them to come after me, you know.
So yeah, I mean, like all of it seems really
Yeah,
good. I mean,
199. I was right. I was right. Okay, yeah,
so yeah, all of
yeah.
it seems really cool. Like, did you? I mean, I guess they had a couple of like those, Street Fighter players or some of those pro players to kind of demo it right there, right? To
Oh
kind of
no
look
no
at it or
no!
no?
The only guy that demoed it was the guy who runs the controller division of Astro, Thaddeus.
Nice,
It
nice.
wasn't like a big presentation or anything.
Hmm.
Apparently, there's also another edition of this controller that comes with like a bunch of more stuff. They gave me the normal edition,
Hmm.
but everybody still gets the same controller at the end. You know,
Okay, but
so
what's the deluxe edition? I guess it comes with more you know another D pad or something like
yeah,
that,
I'm
or.
guessing it has more stuff. They gave Hip Hop Gamer the deluxe edition, obviously. You know, but yeah, man, I'm pretty happy with this. This is gonna be probably my main controller. Only thing I haven't tested out yet, and I guess is a good thing. The battery life. I've been playing for 3 days. It's still going. If this was regular placing, this that stuff would have been dead already. You know.
Yeah.
So you know, and obviously that's because they don't have that big bright bulb there. You know. By the way, this is kind of interesting. You see that white stripe there? That's actually the LED.
Oh, okay. So they put the little LED on that section of it.
Yeah, the
So
LED, and you could adjust the brightness of that if you want to, man.
yeah, yeah. Obviously, this controller is not one of those controllers that's going to be, work with the PlayStation Move tech or the VR tech.
Yeah. Somebody brought this up, and it's kind of I thought the same thing during the presentation. I was like, man, you guys come out with this awesome controller, and the PlayStation 5 is coming out next year. You
Here,
know?
but here's the thing. Like, yeah, like you're talking about, like, or they're announcing or whatever they're going to do. But here's the thing, like, who's to say that this controller won't work on the next one?
Hopefully, you
I
know.
mean, granted, the PS3 to PS4 slash Xbox 360 to Xbox One, some of those controllers didn't work. But I would think that if they spent all this money on a controller, it might as well make it work for everything, right?
Yeah, exactly. But we don't know.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, another little complaint too, and I don't know why this is. Actually, I have a theory on it. When I plug this controller into my PC, there is my speakers cut out completely. They do not
Oh,
work, and that happens with other PlayStation controllers as well. And I think it's because the controller has a speaker in it. You know,
yeah, it has a
um,
speaker in it, and your computer is already is automatically pairing it pairing it to it already.
Yeah, so if I want to play this on my PC, I need to plug in a headset so I can hear everything, which sounds
Hmm.
very nice, by the way. The audio quality is good, but I got
Hmm.
some pretty good headsets anyway. But that's the only thing. If you're playing on PC, you can't just listen through your speakers because it'll like cut out the sound.
I mean, you
You know?
probably just have to go just like if when you plug in your microphone or something like that into your thing. Because my microphone has a headphone jack on it.
Yeah.
My computer automatically pairs to that, and I can't listen to my stuff through my computer on my normal headsets. I have to physically go switch it in the system to the specific
Interesting.
one. So I'm sure you can probably do that stuff. You just have to know enough to, like, okay, you go into the sound settings and then change it to your regular headset, or your speakers
Yeah,
instead.
it's just something to be aware of. But other than
Hmm.
that, I really like the controller. It's got the kind of rubberized. Actually, the whole thing is kind of rubberized, but it's not rubber. I don't know what the material is, but it feels good. Like if your hands get all sweaty and ain't gonna flip on you or anything. Which
Hmm.
is really good. This button, the touchpad is pretty good. It's
Hmm.
small. I dig it, man. It's great, So shout out to Astro for letting me have this controller, sending me to the presentation, and
Hmm.
yeah, it's awesome. So again, if you're in the market for it, $200. I know that's pricey, but if you're a serious gamer, you got to get this, man. It's crazy,
I
So
mean, and
yeah,
to be honest, so it's like, you're always kind of looking for that solution, where it's like, hey, what if you could take the same controller from your PlayStation, to your PC? You don't
yeah,
need to relearn. You don't need to relearn anything. It's all the same way that you would want it,
yeah.
and all the settings look like they kind of, switch over from one to the other. So yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. All right, so that's gonna do it. So I'll leave a link for Astro's website. You go there, check this out. No, we're not sponsored. We're just doing this because hey, we want to show off cool stuff. That's what
Yeah.
we do here on Throwdowns, man. So yeah, that's it for me. Thank you for joining us once again. I was Tony Polanco, and I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you later, guys.
All right, peace out.